All right, let me paint a picture. Imagine it's the end of your workday. You clock out of work, leave the office, building, log off your computer, whatever that looks like for you. You walk back to your car and you reflect back on the quality of your day. You think, wow, it was a rough day. It was a tough day. It was not a great day. It was a bad day. Or maybe it was a really good day. It was a productive day. Whatever it is. And you're thinking about how excited you are that your day's done and now you get to go home, spend time with your family, your kids, maybe relax, play a game, meet up with friends. Spend the rest of your day, a little that's left, before tomorrow. That picture is fairly common. That's not an unusual or weird picture. Probably didn't throw up any red flags in anybody's mind as I was describing the typical end of a day. Except I've now used that phrase multiple times. End of your day. And I want to key in on that. Because the phrases that we use send subtle messages, reiterate subtle messages for ourselves, and color our perspective on how we think about things. The reality of it is, when you clock out of work, that's not the end of the day. That might be the end of your work day, but it's not the end of your day. And if we take the time then to assess our productivity levels, we're reaffirming for ourselves that the only window of time where we are expecting ourselves to be productive is when we're on the clock. There is a lot more time in your day. The average person only works a 40-hour week. That's 8 hours a day. Typically speaking, 9 to 5. Well, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. There's 24 hours in a day. So if you work 8 hours, that still leaves 16 hours in that day. If you work 8 and you sleep 8, if you're one of the smart or lucky few who actually takes that advice and sleeps for 8 hours every single day, but let's just assume that you are, that still leaves 8 hours. That means at the end of your day, at the end of your work day, you've actually only used a third of the hours of the day up and only half of your waking hours. That's still a lot more time. Let me put it to you like this. There's 168 hours in a week. The average person works 40 hours. And if you sleep 8 hours a day, that's another 52 hours of sleep. You subtract those two, that leaves 72 hours a week unaccounted for. 72. Almost double the amount of time that you spend working. Most people don't even consider that when they're assessing their own productivity level. They're basing themselves off of 40 hours, not off that extra 72. That extra 72 is free time. We use that phrase a lot, free time. Let me say it like this. If you are willing to work 40 hours a week, chasing someone else's dream, helping someone else build their dream, whether that's a CEO, a startup founder, board of directors, shareholders, stakeholders, whoever, if you are working and accepting a paycheck, or accepting a salary or a paycheck, you're building someone else's dream. If you're willing to work 40 hours a week, give 40 hours of your time, 40 hours of your energy to build someone else's dream, that's totally fine. But don't you think that you should be willing to spend at least that much time building yours? There's 72 hours left over. What are you doing in those 72 hours? Now, a lot of people look at me and go, well, that's not a fair breakdown. That's not actually a fair breakdown because that's not 72 free hours. That's not actually free time. There's tons of things that take up that time. I cook, I clean, commuting back and forth from work or school, taking care of my kids or my sick family member, or studying, going to school, extracurricular activities, volunteering, helping out at my local church, whatever. There's tons of other things that you're using that time for that's not being accounted in this very simple equation. And it's not fair to say that people are wasting 72 hours of their week. Okay, that's fair. I'll give it to you. I will reiterate though, there's absolutely no reason why you could not find 40 hours in your week to dedicate towards working for you, building yourself. Not in today's day and age. There's so many opportunities and options. If you're jumping on the subway to take it to work, read a book. Not just any book, a book that's actually gonna help you grow. Let's say you're driving to work and since you can't read while driving, okay, fair enough. What are you listening to? Listen to a book. Get Audible. I'm not a sponsor, that'd be awesome if they were, but get Audible. Use that time. Use it. Build your mind, build your skills, learn something, teach yourself something. Let's say you have kids. You come home from work every single day, 5 o'clock. You leave work, commute home. Let's say it's 6 by the time you get home. The kids don't go to bed till 8. You have a couple hours to spend with them, dinner, you put them down. Maybe they go to bed at 9. And if you're gonna get your 8 hours sleep and get up at 7 in the morning the next day, you're going to bed at 11. What are you doing between 9 and 11? Most people decompress. They use that time to relax on the couch, chill. They scroll through TikTok. They, watch TV, play a video game, whatever. I'll suggest there's time for that. There's plenty of time for that. But maybe every so often, to make sure you're getting in your time, your 40 hours for you, use that time to write that book you've always been telling yourself you want to write. Or that board game you've always told yourself you wanted to build. Or instead of just opening up TikTok, maybe go jump on an awesome YouTube channel like this one, like, comment, and subscribe, and learn something. Educate yourself or motivate yourself. Maybe go work out. Work on that side hustle you've always wanted to work on. Whatever it is. Even if you are busy, from 7 o'clock in the morning, you get up, half an hour to shower and get ready, half an hour to commute to work, 8 hours at work, half an hour to come home, and then 2.5 hours with your kids getting ready for dinner, cleaning, chores, putting them to bed and all that. You will still have 2 free hours at the end of your night, and then 8 hours of sleep. You still have 2 free hours at the end of your night. And if you are utilizing your time well, the time getting ready in the morning from when you wake up, you could be listening to something. Commuting, sometimes depending on the kind of job, maybe even while you're at work. The commute back, while you're getting your kids ready. Is it possible to put something on that's educational while you're making dinner? Put one AirPod in and listen to something. Put something on the TV for the kids that's gonna teach them and you. Learn a skill. There's still plenty of time. Right there, in a fully packed day, we uncovered the ability, if you overlap well, for you to gain between 3 and 5 hours during a work day and still have 8 hours of work, still have 8 hours of sleep, and still have all that time with your kids. Just how are you balancing it? Where can you overlap your time? But okay, let's say that's not even an option. Like, that's not an option. I can't dedicate any other attention besides just to my children during those windows. I can't overlap. Maybe I can free up an hour or 2 here or there, but I'm gonna burn out. I can't do it. Okay, fine. What about your weekends? On a typical weekend, you will have 32 hours free because you're not working. You sleep for 8 each day, which leaves 16 unaccounted for. If you are efficient with your time, that's nearly a full work week. Use your weekends. Now I want to caveat this. When I'm saying to be effective and efficient and diligent about building yourself, that does not just mean go make more money. What it means is recognize that every single time that you sit down and you open up your phone and you are scrolling through TikTok or Instagram Reels or Facebook posts or whatever it is, get lost in the YouTube algorithm, recognize that you are spending time, usually more than you think you are, to do that. And that is time that you are not using to build you. And then ask yourself, genuinely, Are you okay with that? Recognize that the only way to get ahead is to be industrious and to build you. Build your mind. Build your mind. Audible, audiobooks, self-help books, YouTube channels. Take free online courses. Attend seminars. Listen to thought-provoking TED Talks. Build your body. Work out. You don't need a fancy gym to do this. You wake up in the morning, do some push-ups. Go for a walk. So you go for an hour walk. That's an hour you're building into your body. Listen to a good book. That's an hour you're putting into your mind. Same hour. You're building your body, you're building your mind. Third, build your wallet. Everybody always says they want to be financially independent, but nobody ever puts the work in to do it, or very few really actually do. Think about how you can make money and what you want to do, and then do it. Go do it. Actually do it. Everybody has a side hustle or a side gig, or this great investment or an entrepreneurial idea that they always thought would be really cool to do. Go do it. Go do it. Put the extra time in. Even if that side gig is driving for Uber or delivering for DoorDash or something, you're benefiting yourself above and beyond, and then you can still use that time to benefit your mind. Get creative. You have 72 unaccounted for hours. Be intentional about how you use them.